What's going on, people? Phonics. Right to truth.
Yeah. Cool-headed, but I'm too deadly. All the way up to the top where I'm going, nigga, where you headed? King shit, overruled peasants. Don't lose your bitch for 2 seconds. All I gotta do is talk to her for a few seconds, and she'll be trying to get me smooth back it. Gooseneck, man, marijuana, get the move ready. Crew reppin' since 9th grade, high school freshman. Young nigga, I was too restless. You guessed it, no cap, it's a new era. Midnight with my last bitch and my last bitch. That's 2 X's, dos X's, 2 N's. I was gone for a few seconds and came home.
All right. Yo, welcome back to Right to Truth. It's your host, Phonics, man. I'm in the building. And you'll see my beautiful face in a second. Yo, big shout, man, to everybody who supports the channel, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. And we just gonna keep doing what we're doing here, people. You see the topic. I told you I'd be back. Jason Whitlock had another show yesterday. And he didn't went from Malcolm X to Jesus, y'all. He's basically anointing Charleston White as being the next Jesus Christ. And for all of y'all who believe in Jesus Christ, I know that's blasphemous and disrespect, but hey, don't shoot the messenger, all right? So yeah, he had a show yesterday where he had his comrades on yesterday, and he was discussing Charleston White again. So we had this guy. I'll let you see my beautiful face for a second. Look at me looking dapper, y'all. Looking clean in the board of health. You feel me? Yo, he had Alex Stein on there, who's allegedly friends with Charleston White. Stein says White is an activist. And you know what? I'm tired of hearing that word. I hear this activist and organizer being thrown by black people and others so much. But it's funny, though. To me, the best organizers and activists is the gang members. It's the gangster disciples, the black disciples, the Bloods, the Crips, Latin Kings, you name it. Because they seem to don't have a drop in their numbers. Their numbers keep growing. So what are you activists or so-called activists really? You're not doing anything. Number one, you're getting tax-free money with your 501c, and you're doing nothing in the communities. Because if you were truly in the communities, what you would be saying is, mothers, fathers, be there for your kids. You're not saying any of that. And yo, excuse the glare, but it'll get better. But you're not saying any of that. Alex Stein, this guy, he's like almost the white version of Charleston White, except he doesn't do all the cursing and all of that other stuff. He's a troll. He's a troll, and he's gotten prominence from behind being a troll. He also said, because he called out Deion Sanders and Charleston White is brilliant. Called out Deion Sanders on what? Listen, sports is a business. It's a business at the amateur level, and it's a business at the collegiate level, and it's a business at the professional level. It's always a business. It's more of a business now than it ever was. These kids go to certain schools because they know that certain school is a powerhouse. They play there, they'll go to a certain college, which is a powerhouse, and they can make it to their respective pro leagues. At least that's how it is in football and basketball. That's just how it is. Your average local school, they don't get the great talent anymore. The talent is going to these private schools. Dion made a business decision, and we could have a problem with it, but at the end of the day, it was his decision to make. He's a grown-ass man. He doesn't owe anybody anything. See, black people always think somebody owes them something. If a black person is at the top of their said profession, they're supposed to grab these ones at the bottom and lift them up. But what about those people at the bottom lifting themselves up? Deion Sanders comes from nothing. And you can say, well, he made it as an athlete and all that. That's all fine, but he made it. What does he owe to anybody? He was there at Jackson State. He's seen a better opportunity. He took it. I ask any of y'all, if you're a professional, if you got offered a better opportunity, more money, and things like that, and you could bring your kids along, you wouldn't take it? Yes, you would. Charleston White, he's not speaking. Let me tell you something. Just because you hear a loudmouth Negro come out, stop thinking that he speaks for all black people. He can never speak for me. That kind of talk, how he sounds like a slave and all that, he can never speak for me. He's not intelligent enough. Stein also said on Whitlock's show, White is not afraid to speak his mind. People should be more like Charleston White. And I have a question to my audience. Who's afraid to speak their mind when you're doing it from the internet when no one can reach out and touch you? See, we can make threats and say all this stuff about people knowing that more than likely it's not as small of a world as we think it is. Especially people who are celebrity status. You're never going to run into them unless you're in those circles. So you can say F Nipsey Hussle all you want. You live in Texas. You ain't going to South Central LA. You ain't going to Florence and Normandy. You ain't going to 60th Street. So the odds of you meeting up with his bros and getting dealt with is very small. Charleston White knows that. I never said he was stupid. Again, he calls out people and he's doing it on a public platform. Who's going to reach out and touch you if you're doing it on a public platform? Now, as they say, there are some crash dummies, and that's yet to be seen. But for what we know, nobody's going to do that. Alex Stein also says, White made it cool to snitch. Says he would call cops on dope boys. He would snitch on rappers he knew had committed murder, says Stein. Charleston White ain't that stupid. And Charleston White likes to run with it. Oh, I'm a snitch. I'm going to call the police. You have to have a reason to call the police. Or you can get charged. You can't just call the police to call the police. I don't know why people have been on that to begin with. Charleston White isn't around people that you know what I'm saying, or witnessing things to where he's calling the police. I'm a civilian. So the whole snitch jacket doesn't mean anything to me. However, I don't put myself in a situation where I have to snitch. Or it can even be a possibility to snitching. You did? I don't put myself in those situations. So that's foolishness right there. Snitching on murders? Come on, man. Are you serious? Like, that's what I said. People just talk. Dissect what they say and listen to it. Don't be so quick to run with what these people are saying and think that their word is bond, so to speak. Stein said that White would speak at youth meetings. He's been doing community activism for a long time. Then where is the receipts? Just because you go to a city council meeting does not make you an activist. Anybody can go to a city council meeting. Just because you go speak to 3 kids on the corner and get my ice cream and say, get out, that doesn't make you a community activist. Since Charleston White has been doing his work, where are the numbers that support that crime and stuff is down in his community? That drug dealing is down in his community, that the recruiting of gangs is down in his community, that youth on youth violence is down in his community. Nobody is asking these questions, but they run with everything he says. And this is what makes you people out here foolish. And again, what did I say last night? I said it on X, man. And I told Whitlock that whoever your researchers are, you need to get better researchers because the information that you're spewing is not factual. You have no receipts to support it, yet you're getting behind somebody you don't know anything about them. Just because he said something about Deion Sanders. You had Shamika Michelle on there. She's a contributor, fearless, black chick. You know she's a black chick, Shamika Michelle. She said she saw some clips of Charleston White that was shocking, but she didn't have the full context. What you mean you didn't have the full context? Said, yeah, she heard him say something about Asians and Israel. He said F those Asians. And he had a lot of other foul stuff to say about them. See, this is all for shock value. Demeaning people and disrespecting a group of people, that's not the way to get your point across. And any mature man does not talk like that. And furthermore, I wouldn't, especially if I'm representing myself and saying that I speak for kids and I speak to kids and I work in the community, I'm not disrespecting anybody from another racial group. We all have to live here and get along together. And this is what's being misunderstood. Shamika Michelle would also go on and say, when he talks about black men and the matriarchy taking over the whole community, she totally agrees. Well, black community, what choice was there when there were no men around? When my father left when I was 4 or 5 years old, and my mother was struggling trying to hold things together, she needed the help of people like my grandmother to step up and say, yo, those are my grandbabies. I'm going to help you and make sure they're all right. And teach me the things that made me a good law-abiding citizen today. And the father still ain't there. This is why the women are on the out front. And yo, I don't agree with it, but that's just the way it is. The men have to come back. That's what we don't want to talk about, is the solution to what's going on with these young black kids. There's no fathers, and the fathers won't come back and be there for their children. This is why they're out there running the streets. Before I recorded this, I just seen something on the news, Washington, D.C. Most of the crimes being committed by teenagers. They running wild. Where are the fathers at? Oh, they out making more kids, or they in jail, or they living their best life. We have an obligation when we bring these children into the world to be there for them. And we're not. And we're failing them, and we have failed them. And this is why the women have had to step up. All facts. You know what I'm saying? Shamik Michelle, again, she was going along with what he was saying. You know what I'm saying? That's what she has to do. But it was another contributor named TJ Moe. And I didn't take a lot of notes on him. I didn't take none, but I respected everything he was saying. Basically, he was saying, like, yo, this dude, Charleston White, is a clown. I'm not getting behind that. And I wouldn't agree with that. And you see, that's why he's still not mainstream. Because TJ Moe, who is a white man, that's how his community thinks. They're not going to listen to that vulgarness and think that he's making a point. Because educated people don't have to make a point like that. Whether it was Minister Farrakhan or Dr. Khalid Muhammad, you know what I'm saying, may he rest with the ancestors, or Dr. John Henry Clark, or Malcolm X, Assata Shakur, any of these powerful people who could speak, and they didn't speak like this. And Whitlock keeps saying that White talks how he talks because he speaks that way to reach the young people. Let me tell you something. I have one adult, one young adult, and one teenager. You know what I'm saying? They don't listen to Charleston White. They don't really even know who he is. That's not their wave. Charleston White wave is for people who have nothing else going on, who have nothing in their mind, and they want to be entertained. So that's why he said, yeah, Boosie's son and T.I.'s son, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Stupidness. Charleston White is in this for the bag. So he'll try to manipulate y'all and say, well, I was playing the character. Nah, we don't want to hear that, bro. We grown-ass men. Grown-ass men don't play the character talking about raping any woman or physically assaulting any woman. Ain't no real dude playing a character where he's disrespecting another man's daughters, as he did with Mav Hoffa's daughters. Or threatening to call the police on another man. And you don't even know what they into. Nah, we don't work like that. My kids don't listen to him. And they're too intelligent to even listen to that kind of bullshit. I mean, just to be completely honest with you. They wouldn't even sit and listen to that. They're too intelligent to sit and listen to that. Whitlock had his pastors on there too. I thought it was very interesting what one of the pastors said. He said, nah, he couldn't deal with Charleston White. And he said he can agree with some of his opinions, but he doesn't share his values. You know, you almost 50 years old and you talking about you still running up in strip clubs, man. I ain't been in a strip club since my 20s. That's not a place I frequent. That's not even a place I'm interested in going. And anybody who knows me knows when I went at those times, it was like, yo, come ride with me or we're going to go here. I ain't tip. I don't do none of that. But yo, you have to look at this guy. Look at him. What kind of action would he get without paying for it? That guy on the right has way better chance of getting action than Charleston White. That's a fact. So it's a stupid conversation. Again, I'm not surprised by Whitlock. He likes to paint himself as being so intelligent. He's not. He's not with the times. You can see that. Because he has to keep asking these stupid questions again. You have a show, you have all kind of resources. Why when you do your research on this man before you come on? Everybody else had to tell you about the rape stuff. Everybody else had to tell you about the hang sex. Now you're playing stupid like you don't know. But you watch some of his stuff. And Whitlock also said, as a black person, he's so desperate for blacks to get reached, so he doesn't care how they get the knowledge. You see how ignorant this man sounds? Number one, don't say it's knowledge, because knowledge is something that empowers you and it gives you a better understanding of life and how to go about situations. Let's just say this is just BS words that's being spewed. And no, I don't want his word. I don't want Charleston White's words injected into the children out here. He's a poor example of a man. Again, I've seen quite a few videos since he came out. Now, you want to say highly entertaining? We can take that route. Would I ever take him serious in anything? Nah. Because he's too silly. I like to joke and talk smack like the next man, but there's also a serious side, and he has yet to display that fully. When he talks about these characters, that makes me think that he has some type of multiple personality disorder. Why do you have all these characters? Why is all this stuff playing in your mind like that? You know, there's something wrong there. When a man, an adult, or any human being is telling you they're portraying a character, and you're not a paid actor or actress, you're not in anybody's films, you're saying that when you're getting interviewed or you're on YouTube, you're portraying different roles of what? And then you say that kind of like as a backdrop because you think it'll make people fall back. Oh, when I say I'm Rat Williams, I'm in character, this and that. Nah, bro. We don't play those kind of games. And I think that's what Charleston White will unfortunately learn the hard way. You're dealing with serious people out here. A lot of people that don't take disrespect kindly. It's easy to say, I'm willing to die over my words and all this, when you think that you'll never come in contact with said person or whoever they affiliated with. And I would encourage anybody to never use violence for any reason, unless it's to defend your family. And I definitely wouldn't use violence on this guy because his 15 minutes is going to be up sooner than later. You know, it'll be another clown like him that's going to come along, and black people will gravitate towards that because we tend to support the lowest filth in our community. As I said with Vlad, with constantly having Bootsy on. Bootsy is the lowest of the low in our community. He's filth. And not just because, you know, he's a rapper and he's a criminal, but it's just the fact that he's not about anything. He doesn't speak with any kind of knowledge or substance. We can see he doesn't know how to raise children. Look how he's publicly out here disrespecting his own daughter. His own daughter, man. It's a heartless man. I love my girls. In any situation that we have, I'm sure we can handle it. And we damn sure going to handle it privately. I would never try to disrespect them or embarrass them over a text message or on the internet. Whitlock says his problem with Dion is he claims to be a Christian and a Christian example. And this is why he's more critical of him. Again, this is what I keep telling y'all about these so-called religious people. Watch out for them. Because who are you to judge this man and his faith. I said this yesterday, I'm going to say it again. Who are you, Whitlock? You're a so-called Christian. What does that make you? You're going to die just like everybody else and be judged for your sins if that's what happens when we leave this world. You ain't in no place to talk about Dion. And if the people worship him, that's their flaws. Because they should know he's nothing but a man. But it ain't what you think it just started with Dion. People worship Malcolm. Hell, Malcolm worshipped Elijah Muhammad. And when Malcolm found out that Elijah Muhammad was a mere mortal, it broke his heart and it angered him. And that's what I believe was the things that rolling that cost Malcolm his life. Because you had those believers, those followers of Elijah Muhammad was like, how dare you come out and talk about the dear holy apostle? This is God in person. So look, idolatry will never stop. And in the world that we live in, it's even more magnified. Because unfortunately, celebrities, they are it. People are interested in what's going on in their lives. They want to meet these people. They tweet about these people. There's podcasts that go on and people don't talk, ain't nothing but about these people. These people are very interested, and that goes to show you how empty many human beings are. Because I'm not going to take a whole podcast and talk about what Diddy's doing in his private life. That's Diddy's private life. I don't care if it's public. That's not my concern. I wouldn't even do it for clicks or likes because I'm not built like that. I'm not going to sit here and talk to you about this celebrity this and this celebrity that. Not saying I haven't done it, but if I have, there's definitely a reason behind it. But when it comes to religion and faith, I let people have that and let them believe what they want to believe. That's just the bottom line. And I'm not here to judge anybody. And I mean that. Some people believe they are. I don't. Because guess what? I only die once. I can only answer for my sins in the next life. I can't answer for yours. So there's no reason for me to lose any breath about trying to judge you. In the course of this world, history repeats itself. This world and this country that we live in particular is on a collision course for destruction because that's how it's supposed to be. And this is why I coined the term the delusional majority, because many of you think that you're going to change this country back into your likeness, whether it's MAGA, whether it's the LGBTQ community, whether it's white nationalists, whether it's black nationalists, whether it's Latino nationalists or Asian nationalists or blue people. You're not. So why don't you just sit back, chill, and enjoy what rest you have of your life in peace? But people can't do that. Because man is so hungry for power. This is the whole basis of religion. I was just watching something today about Liberia. People is poor as hell over there, but they donating to the church. Pastors walking around in alligator shoes. Everybody else got flip-flops on with ashy feet. People have to stop looking for other human beings to believe in and believe in themselves, man. That's the bottom line. Charleston White ain't nothing but, you can see he lived a very troubled life. He looks like he was bullied, obviously. You know what I'm saying? And now he has the whole world looking at him. So he's doing what a little kid does when he gets attention. He shows his ass. That's what Charleston White does. He shows his ass. He's like a little kid that get attention. They start showing their ass. Well, mom, stop showing your, sit your ass down. Stop showing your ass. That's what he's doing. Everybody keeps seeming to think that they have the answers for the black community, but for some reason, the black community is still in this state, and it's been like this forever. Before I was born, before my mama was born, before my daddy was born. So when is this going to change? It's not. Until the people change and start owning their situation. We won't own our situation. We want to constantly blame somebody else or point the finger. Why don't our kids want to go to school? Everybody think they're going to be a TikTok star, a YouTuber, a Charleston White. Charleston White, he tries to make this case. Y'all didn't want to listen to me before, when I was talking serious stuff. So you had to sell yourself out, Charleston, because that's basically what you did. and you come on here and you become a clown. You're embarrassing to your family. You should be, but you a dusty nigga from down the way. So they don't have too much dignity and self-respect like that. Because if they did, they would have been told you. But you know, you're making a little money now, so you that guy. But again, your 15 minutes is gonna run out, cuz. And then what? You're gonna be just a regular dude walking around here, man. Whitlock, you need to stay away from these kind of topics. Focus on MAGA, conservative Republicans. Keep doing that same stuff, man. I do watch your show, so I'm not going to act like I don't, but I can criticize. I mean, I can use my platform to criticize you publicly, and that's what I'm doing. You're a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? You're a big hypocrite. And you're the teapot that's calling the kettle black. You're not in no position to talk about Dion. You're not in any position to talk about anybody. Dion did what he thought was best for him and his family. All I could do was respect it. You know. Then I heard them, the dude Alex Stein trying to assassinate Dion's character. Oh, Charleston White, how the hell he know Dion? The man said in Cam's doing an interview, he's not even interested in sport. He doesn't even watch it. How he know Dion? Oh, Dion had a team down there in Dallas and that. So that don't mean you know Dion. I doubt Charleston even went to the games. If you ain't a fan of something, you know what I'm saying? Oh, he ain't even speak. He don't have to speak. What, you in your feelings? You emotional? Because he has celebrity status, he got to go around waving like the president, kissing babies? That man don't want to speak. He don't got to speak. Now, if I spoke to you, you ain't speak back. Yeah, I got a problem with that. But if you ain't speaking, so what? Whitlock, you playing a dangerous game. Now you're trying to assassinate his character. First, you assassinate him for he's not a real Christian. You know what I'm saying? Then he doesn't do this. And you know what I'm saying? That's why you want to ride that way with Charleston, because of all what he said about Dion. And I want everybody to be very cognizant, be very mindful of that. That's why Whitlock was interested in Charleston White, because Charleston White been around for 2 years, man, 2-3 years. He ain't said nothing about Charleston White until Charleston White was on Cam Newton's show and said F Dion and his wife. And that was right up his alley, because that's all he wants to talk about. And like I said, it's very startling for me, for this grown-ass man to have such an infatuation with another grown-ass man who ain't even thinking about him. You don't hear Dion drop nothing subliminally about this dude, not in a tweet or nothing. But you constantly talking about him. Like I said, you went from talking about his team to him as a person, as a man, and his faith, and you out of bounds because you're not in any place to do it. And yo, get rid of that fade, dude. It looks horrible. Yeah, I ain't got no hair. I'd rather look like this than look like that. That's all I'm saying. Again, I told y'all last night, I'm not going to go on and on with this dude about that, but I just want to get this off my chest, and I want y'all to understand where I'm coming from, man. Whitlock really believes that Charleston White is the next Jesus Christ, man. He believes that, yo, that's him. That funny-looking dude on the left is Jesus Christ. He's returned. But he's a Christian, right? He's saved. He has a biblical worldview. Whatever the fuck that means. Biblical worldview. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, man. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I would never base my whole living off of a book. Never. You know, because there's many more things that I use to help me in my daily life and influence me. And one thing I didn't agree with, Whitlock's one of his pastors said that, he couldn't take Charleston because Charleston said he's spiritual, but he doesn't believe in the book, and they go hand in hand. Bro, that's your opinion. You know what I'm saying? What Charleston said is what 85% of the people are walking around saying now. They're spiritual. Nobody is with that religion stuff like that no more, man. And the people that's wearing it on their sleeve, they're liars. Yeah, just like you try to say with Deion Whitlock, you're a liar. You're not a Christian. I don't believe it. Like, how do a 50-some-year-old man, you have no family, no wife, no kids, or nothing? I thought the Bible said, be fruitful and multiply. Dude, I honestly think that you're jealous of Deion Sanders. I think in sports-wise, he's everything that you thought that you were going to be, but you never could be. You know, you like to say, yeah, I was an okay player, Mid-American Conference, but my grades and I was so interested in doing this and doing that. You was a jerk off. That's basically what you were. Much hasn't changed. You're a talented writer, I'll give you that. But when it comes to issues, I think with black people and and what surrounds that, you're very ill-informed because you've probably been out of that life for a very long time. You strike me as a person, once you made it big, you pretty much forgot about all of that. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. People need to grow up and move on. But stop trying to backtrack to get more, to get more subscribers and to boost your channel. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not going to work. Young people are not going to, they don't want to hear the shit that you're saying. And you know what? That's what, segues me into what I'm going to end the show with. I was watching the Republican debate last night, and Vivek Ramaswamy was giving Nikki Haley that work. He was breaking it down. And you know what the people said after that? Oh, he's obnoxious. Nobody wants anything new. They don't want fresh ideas. And the only thing I can say to that is I can't wait till you older people die. You can't die for me fast enough. So we can get new, fresher ideas and people in office who really want to affect change and who really want to go about the right way and who aren't being compromised and bought and owned by our enemies. That's what I would say about that. I want people that truly have the interests of this country at heart and not their pockets. Okay? Hey, yo, I want y'all to like, subscribe, man. Share. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share, man. I'll be back here probably tomorrow and the next day, man. Yo, thank everybody for listening, man. Yo, keep coming through. Keep coming through, and I'm going to keep being here. We're going to wrap it up on Whitlock, man. We're not going to talk about him no more when it pertains to this. And, his baby Jesus, Charleston White, he can have that. You know what I'm saying? But, yo, you just make sure you hit the subscribe button, man. And, you know what I'm saying? Donate to the movement, man. Let's keep it moving, yo. Hey, thank everybody for listening and watching.